festival, or we should like all tell what we read?
Concept of history, how the history is formed. He talks about when we look at the future, like he's talking about how history is formed, even when you look at future. He says it means history doesn't make how humans react. People who make the history, dealing with this, class differences, how the leading class, the ruling class, can make the future as they make the past.
This text is around the end of the war.
Yeah.
For me, the question is to think about the production of content around the historical.
After the war, like how history was written for the winners. The beat Nazi Germany, and like the all of this like history of the Second World War is written from that point of view. The point that he makes is the fact that like the way we view history is that we view it as we pick out the things that lead to from one thing to another into this like linear progression of history, and he's trying to make it not that way. He's trying to say that like we should technically view history as like all of these events put together, because he brings out the monks writing those like manuscripts of like the daily events of the community, and they record everything that happens. It's not like the selective that we can like in this present time we can like view things as like all these like different things, but then when we not like usually when we look at history we only see the like main points that lead from one thing to another.
The idea is kind of linked to the idea of progress. That's where we always just pick in some aspects of the whole history, because we are thinking about progress, so there is no like a linear way of viewing time.
If we view it as a progression, linear progression, there's no way that anything else can happen, because like it's just this one way of going.
I was just wondering, he mentions empathy. Why is he mentioning empathy? It's with the here and now idea.
We experience the present as not as a part of a chain necessarily, because we don't have the like what follows. We see it as like this holistic thing, and that's how we should also see history. On the other hand, I just like don't understand how that works in practice.
So it's about communication. So right now I think that art is not about communication.
Because like essentially like the whole idea was that like we are in a constant state of emergency. That was like the thing, that like there's just like this rubble rising and rising. Because he was like, it seems like he doesn't really believe in this media thing. Because like media is like, if you just use the same methods as the bourgeoisie, then you can't really like, it reproduces the same structure of society.
Because it's funny, I mean, with Benjamin and Heidegger, they are really into this kind of structure that it's making things mean things, or a structure that's making theater mean what is theater, and then change how the people that are doing it, the artists or the writers or the actors or directors, are trying to change this structure in order to find out which one is the one is working. And once they have it, they try to then figure out what direction they want to do it, but then it's always too late.
I don't know what you hear or what the ruling class wants you to think that what's happening. You can try to know what's the other side. How you can just try to brush against the grain the history of your time, your presence. That's just what I got out of it. I don't know how.